I don't have any kind of like a chest pack, hands-free kind of thing, so for you. So on the back of this, you have all these channels. The first one, these are channels in. This is positive and negative. So positive, negative. 12 volt in. Okay, 12 volt in. And what's feeding that is that reducer. And currently it'll have 24 volts in. So it's got 24 volts in, the reducer drops it to 12, it goes in here. What's actually happening is what's coming in here is off of that big old distribution board. 12 volt distribution. So you can do it any way you want. You can go direct, but what's really happening is this is going in here, and this is going like that. Okay, so the distribution board, and then you got miscellaneous lighting, whatever else you got going on. Okay, so we're not talking so much about that. So we're looking at the back here. We've got positive, negative, in. These are ground. All of these are grounds, and they're all channels, and I think you have 10 channels. So assignment 1, according to what we did, is going to be engine off, engine on, junk like that. And again, I thought this was supposed to be one this way, because if you look at it, it's like switch 1, 2, 3, but when you program it, it comes out a little different. So the gist of it is, we'll just do a couple of channels. Sound. These are grounds. So you're running this to a switch. So if you had 10 switches, it'd go all the grounds. This is ground. And then the chunk off the switch will go there. Chunk off the switch will go there. So you're just completing the circuit. The ground to the first one, make a common ground all the way, connecting all the toggles, but the other line on the toggle goes into that sound, and that's what triggers it. And then you have positive and negative. Let's see, it's actually negative, positive. This is a 12 volt out, and then the last batch is positive, negative, and those are to speakers. And it is a stereo, so it's not a mono channel. So now you got 12 volt out. You could run that to a light, but in our case, we're running that to the propeller. Okay, so 24 or 12 volts in to the distribution board. From the distribution board, we're piping it into the sound system. The sound system has a shared ground off of the distribution board. The ground goes to each toggle, and then the second wire off of the toggle, it's a 2-wire momentary preferred toggle, and then that activates the sound. They can't do all the sounds at the same time. So now we're going to go outside and wire this up and show you that. So I got to do some Mickey Mousing because, you know, you only got 2 arms. So it'll bump around a little bit. Okay, so these YouTube guys are amazing because they get all the good shots. I get nothing. Okay, so try to make this somewhat stable so it doesn't jump around on us. Okay, so it looks like we're golden. Okay, so as I said, we're wiring in all of this stuff right now. And cell phone's still trying to take off. Okay, so we're gonna get the lighting. I'm gonna disconnect all this light. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to, on the lighting, positive is black. Just kind of throws a curveball, first glances. Okay, so we got that going on. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get this junk out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Right about that. Confusing you. Okay. First thing we're going to do is locate power, which is this one. Now the ground for the motor and everything is sharing power, so I'm going to join these. And then power, so that's that system there. I'm going to find the ground, which is right here, and we're going to plop that in there. Okay. And then we're going to get the positive to it. And you can see, oops. Okay. What's going on there? Everything's going on there. The distribution board is where this is coming from. So now we're going to take positive, drop this down in there. Then we're going to find the off sound, which it says right here. Off is the next one over. Get rid of that sticker. Then we got on sound. I'm going to put that right here in this slot. Oops, what happened? Off allowed, sorry. You got to kind of really pay attention if it goes in the top or the bottom of this. Okay. We're going to test it. All these wires are good. We got the on sound, which is this one. I think you can see this. I believe. Okay. And then we got propeller, which is over here, positive and negative. The next one over is propeller positive. One here solid, good. Okay. Then we have speaker. That's this wire. It's going down there. I'm going to run it under here. Under all the goodies. And that is going to be positive speaker here. So speaker is the last two. And we're going to have negative speaker. So we have, hopefully you can see that, I don't know. So what we got going on is positive, negative input. We're sharing the ground with this. Engine on, which is a ground. Engine off and ground. Additional sounds if you add them. Propeller assembly, positive and negative. That's just an output. that's controlled by this and speakers. So at this point, we're ready to turn this on. So let me show you how we're getting around that. Pretty sure the professional YouTuber guys aren't doing tape. Okay, so we're gonna try her out. Arm it. Lights flash indicating that there is power to the whole system, either 24 or 12 volt, depending on what we decide on. Engine start sound. Let me put this bearing back in here. The engine start sound is this one. I'm gonna hold it up. Volume. If I turn that volume down, see how the propeller slows to nothing. The more I turn the volume up, that's controlling. It's basically a variostat type thing. It will speed up that motor depending on the volume. It's about 6 volts. That's full. I'm going to drop it down quiet so you can kind of see what's going on. Our strobes are all flashing. Real simple to do. Okay, so the clutch assembly kit.
It's a completely 301 on company, and just let me know when you guys are ready to go.
That's your voice. Pretty cool.
Yeah, we got you out clear. 234 okay. And Ram, Super T-33 is rolling at 923 flight. 923 shots of fast. All landing lights are on safe.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this down. Okay, so we're going to describe it again. Hot wires coming through this little bulkhead. From there it goes to the voltage step down. From there it goes to the distribution board. Everything on this is 12 volts. A is black, B is positive, and that carries straight across this board. 12 volts is powering the wigwag unit, which is doing the flashing. Anything wired to these is going to be wigwag flashing. So your front landing lights will be wired. If you want the rear setup like that, you'll have to put it into the wiring harness. It'll be easy to do. But currently, it's just basic white tail lights. Voltage. This is how many voltage is currently coming through this system at this point. Okay, so if there's 24 volts in there, it'll tell you 24 volts. The clutch system, even though everything's running, the clutch system isn't grabbing. It's very sensitive to a kiddo stepping in front of it. So I'm going to turn it back up and I'm going to show you the power down sequence. So in emergencies, you just slap that down, it'll shut everything off. But if you want the power down sequence, you're going to push this.
Alright, ready? Please ready. Please ready. Board ready.
Okay, so you see, you can hear the sound. As long as there's sound, that motor's running because it's off the back of that. Okay, it just shut itself off. You'll notice you still have power. That's because this master arm is on, will kill it. Everything's off now. The entire plane is dead. When it's done, like I said, you're going to have batteries in the floats. The floats will have a fused link. The floats will contain these two batteries, either wired in series or parallel, depending on the speed we decide to go with. If it's wired in a way that it's 24 volts powering those motors, then it'll 24 volts up through the motor distribution area, motor driver, and then convert it down to 12. If we decide to wire that to where we're getting more amps, but we're still 12 volt to slow those motors down, then it's 12 volts to this switch, 12 volts to the drive motor, and 12 volts to the reduction in voltage. So this doesn't change anything at that point. So anyway, there you go. Kind of a complex toy, but it's going to be cool, dude. I'm super excited about this thing for you.